What's going on, everybody? Shout out to all my slimes in attendance. Drop those snakes in the chat. Also, shout out all my supporters and all my viewers in here. So y'all heard the new D4VD rumor that's going around that got the internet going crazy. I wouldn't even call it a rumor. So the private investigator, Steve Fisher, has came out, was the first to announce that he allegedly has proof and evidence that D4VD has dated, allegedly, 2 other minors in the same time frame as Celeste. And guess who also has a photo of one of them for y'all to see? That I'm going to share with y'all in a few seconds. Just bear with me. What's going on, chat? What's going on? What's up, Rube? I gave you a wrench. So here we got D4VD, private investigator Steve Fisher, claiming how he has proof that D4VD had an ongoing illegal relationship with another minor at the exact same time. This was ongoing with Celeste. And I'm going to show y'all the proof after we read this article real quick. As y'all see right here in the bottom with my arrows pointing, that's the other minor allegedly. And of course her face has to be crossed out. D4VD could have dated 3 minors over the last 2.5 years. What? So Steve Fisher came out and said this the other day. He tweeted, I also have proof that he had an ongoing illegal relationship with another minor at the exact same time. This was ongoing with Celeste. This proof includes a statement from the minor and dozens of photos, not one, but dozens, he said, that include the minor and David. Oh, wonder how I came across one of them. Yes, law enforcement is aware of this relationship. Shaggy? I'm also aware of a 3rd minor. This is a pattern. Why charges are not being filed for this pattern of abuse against minors is beyond logic to me. It's as if it's homicide or nothing. How about justice for all his victims and stop this from happening to someone else? We have to keep this pressure on, and it's time for more pressure. Salute to Steve Fisher, because he's been doing a hell of a job. And I also want to say I also made a video about this pattern D4VD had when he was giving tickets out at middle schools. But anyways, y'all, let's read a couple of these comments. Damn, he could have been a serial if he hadn't been caught. For all we know, he might already be one. Would explain why he moved so cocky and recklessly with Celeste if he is used to getting away with it. You have a point there. Well, 6 months has gone by. Who knows what he is up to as we speak. That's insane. Remember the SWAT call? Said a girl was screaming? It's starting to ring a little different now. What if is all I'm saying. Who would be calling on who? Makes you wonder. With one victim, David could lie and claim that he did not know her age, but with more victims, it becomes obvious that D4VD has an interest in minors in general. He takes pictures with Hello Kitty dolls and shirts. You think? Well, anyways, let's go to the picture of him and the minor. We're gonna play this.
I'm not sure if you guys have seen.
Shout out to this man right here, doing his homework. Shout out everybody in the chat. What's going on, Rube? Long time no see. My A1 from day one.
This comment right here on a video recently. but it says, I knew someone who dated David and was a minor at the time. And they post this photo right here. Now, I ended up running this image on several different AI detection engines, and they all came back as not being AI generated. Now, obviously, these AI detection tools are not always 100% accurate, so take this with a grain of salt. Now, at the very beginning of this case, we got text messages from David that he had sent to another underage girl that he was talking to, and he was basically letting her know that he wanted to break things off because he was going to go on tour, she was still in school, and the long distance just wasn't going to work out for him. So many people were thinking that maybe this is
a shame. Look what he sent to her. Holla. Okay, so I've been up all night thinking logically about you. Work, life, relationship, and realize something that you would agree with if you see it the way I do. Straight from my heart. I really, really love you. But I have been checking my schedule for the rest of the year and next year, and I'm hardly in Texas. I believe long distance relationships work under the right conditions, like you being able to travel with me, etc. But you're still in school. What? With that also being said, I don't like hiding anything from, and then we don't see what else he says. It's like he's enticingizing the girl. Oh, I'll run away from what I'm doing, my school, my parents, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To come live this luxury, maybe fast life. And he does seem a little cocky.
Her, but these messages were sent in 2023, and according to these photos, at least from what I'm seeing in the backgrounds, they had to have been taken in 2024 or 2025. So this right here is an image of the inside of the home that David was renting in the Hollywood Hills when Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body was found. As you can see, there are lights that are in the ceiling, circle lights, and then there's like a caved in part of the ceiling that I think is either a light or like a sun.
We got him red-handed, boys.
Roof kind of thing. And you can see those lights and that kind of like increase in the ceiling in this photo right here. Also, if you look at the background of this specific photo right here and pay attention to some of the details, the photographs on the wall, the dresser, the floorboard, you can see that it matches this photo right here and this photo right here. And David did not actually get access to this home until a lease was signed in February of 2024, which is conveniently enough around the same period of time when Celeste first ran away from home in February of 2024. So was David dating two minor girls in 2024? Or is it possible that he was dating Celeste in 2024 and started talking to this girl at the beginning of 2025? I mean, who really knows? It's hard to tell for sure because we don't have a timestamp for this photo. I'm going to be looking into it a little bit more.
What I just thought of, we all thought he liked these, Spanish / Mexican, Latino type girls with the curly hair, black hair that he's always putting in his videos. But we just see right in this picture, he's with a blonde white girl. So maybe there's more meaning to them videos than we think with the people he got him looking like, if you think about it.
I guess the moral of the story is that we know that David has a history of being into younger girls. He already was dating a minor from this text message right here, who he was breaking up with in 2023. When he was 18, she was 16. We know about Celeste. He's 20. It's that we know
the rest of the message say?
From this text message.
I would love to have a public relationship with someone, but the way this is going, we have to be a secret or something. I want you to be happy, but you still have so much left to do in these last 2 years of high school. What? That means she's about 12, 13. And it may change your view on this shit entirely, and I would gladly wait for you. What? If we are both in the right headspace. He's trying to groom, allegedly, these girls. When that time comes, I want to still be here for you. talk like we did before. It got complicated, laugh my ass. I love and care about you and need to make sure you're not alone. We are still interlinked. What? What kind of thing is that to say to a girl? We are still interlinked.
Right here, who he was breaking up with in 2023.
This
when
is
he was 18,
insane.
he was 16. We know about Celeste. He's 20. She's 14.
Hell yeah, that's a groom, man. Allegedly, that's supposed to be a 12-year-old.
Now we have this
2 years left in high school.
mystery girl that he was dealing with within the last year. So this could be 3 children that he, as an adult, was into, attracted to. Very disturbing, very telling about who David is and what he's into. What do you guys think about all of this? Let me know. So I'm not sure if you got...
That's crazy. Real crazy. So they're saying up to 3 minors in the last 2.5 years. We got proof of 2, which is Celeste and this girl right here that he's hugging on. And Steve Fisher just made that statement that he has all them photos. What did he say again? He had dozens of photos that include the minor and David. Oh, he says law enforcement was aware. So my next topic I want to ask the chat and everybody is, when do y'all think she passed away or was unalive at? It's hard to say. I've been looking at a lot of people who've been talking about this topic and what they have been saying. I see a lot of people saying January. I see a lot of people saying February. Now, there's a few things that I want to point out that does go in hand with them dates. January 2025. Well, first of all, Celeste, to my knowledge, was last seen in this picture right here that's on Reddit. And it says, weird thing I noticed. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was photographed by D4VD on the night of December 30th, 2024. Just before midnight. I don't know what she was doing at midnight in downtown Los Angeles on the 200 South block of Figueroa Street. That's actually where the 304s hang around at, and you know they make money. Y'all, if y'all know what I'm saying. But that's the last known date that we have a picture of her. But the private investigator, shout out to him, Steve Fisher, did say he had in his he has evidence of Celeste, of a photo of her on January 2nd. The last known photograph of Celeste Rivas was taken on January 2nd, 2025. The image was discovered by private investigator Steve Fisher, who noted that Rivas appeared to be very alone in that photo. Now, what I want to say is, let me also add that he found this photo in D4VD's camera that he used to take pictures with. Had over thousands of pictures, he said. A lot with him and Celeste. But the last one of Celeste ended January 2nd. Which is very weird. You know what I'm saying, y'all? With that being said, they're saying she was last seen December 31st. So I want to read something to y'all that's a little bit creepy. Alright? It says on January 13th, 2025, D4VD dropped 2 videos on TikTok that caught my eyes of interest. The first video shows D4VD at the second property which he and Celeste were during his live stream with her. D4VD flashes the camera to 2 empty white chairs where they likely used to sit together. He then sings a song from Bad Bunny in Spanish which translate, I should have took more photos of you when I had you. Later on in the same day, he posted a second video of him dancing with his younger sister to One More Dance in the description. He describes it as a song about longing to have one more moment with a lost loved one, even in the afterlife. In other words, D4VD may dance with her in the afterlife someday. So he captioned this. That's the two chairs that somebody said that him and Celeste used to sit in. That he looked at it and started singing Bad Bunny. Then this is him dancing with his sister. They said, since everybody is telling me to drop again, I have made the sister song to hear with me called One More Dance. This song is about mourning the loss of a loved one and longing for one last moment with them, even in the afterlife. Coming soon. That's something weird to say. He posted this January 13th, 2005. Also posted the two white chairs January 13th, 2025. And then he made that weird afterlife comment thing. Now let's see what the comments say. It's insane to think he was infatuated with little girls while in his sister's closet. That's scary as hell for her. Literally, he was in the closet. I agree, somebody said. I don't know, and I think she passed, but saying One More Dance is about the loss of a loved one is so weird. And then the video showing someone being put in the trunk of a car seems too many similarities just to be a coincidence. Top 1% poster. Yeah, because the lyrics don't say she's dead, but he does say 40 degrees around us, which led some to believe he was referring to dancing in a fridge months ago when people thought she was frozen. I really zeroed in on these same two posts when January started, seeming suspicious. This is other D4VD fans who've been following him before probably most of us, and they're saying that they noticed him in January and stuff was getting suspicious on his post. Look, this person said, I believe they broke up in January, February, before Valentine's Day, and I believe she may have lost her life towards the end of February, April. I think they were on and off repeatedly, but this time it was worse than the other breakups. And it kind of looks like things have went sideways between them. And I'm going to show y'all why. Between Steve Fisher announcing that, you know, he was dating other girls. So that means he has a habit of to flirt and stuff like that. Mind you, this is him taking a picture. D4VD and Alyssa. The other person that I believe allegedly may have knew what happened other than Nia. And that's my opinion. But what I want y'all to look at the song they're playing, y'all. And this is why I think she might have knew also. Dean Blunt. Somebody even in the comments says it, that Celeste's name was Dean Blunt Lover. Is that a coincidence or what? Dean Blunt, Panda Bear. Crazy choice of song considering one of Celeste's usernames was Dean Blunt Lover. Literally came here to say this. She's a sick bee just like David. Wow. Exactly. David handpicked people who were like him. He didn't have someone he might think would tell on him or record and photograph for blackmail later. He needed people who had his back and didn't mind getting involved in anything vile he did. Maybe a cult, allegedly. Who knows? No, not just like David. She's not the one who he had a relationship with her. Where's that energy for Neo too? Yup, and their band-aid that's covering the same finger he had a slice on. Shake my head if that isn't obvious enough. Wow. Y'all remember this picture? That's crazy. He started posting this around January too. This is probably why his fans are telling us he was acting weird around this time and posting weird stuff. So he posted a little clip of him just flashing that knife around for whatever reason. And she was dismembered. Little sick. Dean Blunt was Celeste shit. She had the whole playlist. Rest up, hon. So is he rubbing it in her face? Is he already moved on? Like if he was already with somebody when he was with Celeste, imagine once she's gone. Look at this girl. You know what else I noticed, y'all? This another blonde-headed girl too. Just like the other girl he was with. But she was a lot younger. His type. Y'all with me? So somebody said she's sick, B, just like David, Street Evening said. Whew. Somebody said, but it's very strange. There's no pictures or videos of her anywhere since January. If she broke up with David, then where was she? We're back in under the thread of the two white chairs that they used to sit in. That he posted on January 13th, 2025, talking about loaning for somebody. I feel like it was between this time, January, but before February 14th. A lot of people say they believe it was before Valentine's. Also, what was he doing on February 14th? Are there any posts related to Celeste on Valentine's Day at all? Curious and interesting at the same time. I agree with you, Majestic said. Mike, he was just very adamant that he didn't have a Valentine, which caught my attention. If she was possibly unalived before then. So that does not make no sense. If he was with her, which we all know he was well with Celeste after February 14, 2025, why wouldn't he have a Valentine's? Unless she wasn't around anymore, right or wrong. Both of the properties are in Texas, not Hollywood. Exactly. Steve Fisher says he thinks she unalived in January. So even Steve Fisher said it. As David behavior changes at that time, he bought a new Tesla. Wow, all the puzzles are starting to fit in January. Started leaving it in random places. No more pics of Celeste. I wonder if she spent some time. That's insane. So yeah, he dropped that on January 13th. I just thought it was odd how he made these posts and these captions, and then a couple days after he's with that girl Alyssa or whatever that was also on tour with him. And Neo, after Steve Fisher allegedly, the private investigator, made a comment how they moved the car before they all went on tour. And we know who went on tour. We seen them on the tour bus. Neo, the girl, and D4VD. This is crazy, y'all. He already gave the info to authorities, he says, talking about Steve Fisher. You have proof, advise the minor's family to go to the authorities. Why is Steve Fisher telling the word on social media? What, do you want it to go unnoticed? He says a whole lot. If you throw enough at a wall, something will stick. I don't take anything in online influence says, and make no mistake, this is all this guy has. I think Steve is tired of everything being hidden from the public because he knows how many people are invested in this case. We all feel like this dude is going to get off on some BS technicality. That's what we all really feel like inside. And this has been prolonged and stretched out long enough. The person, my opinion was, that owned that Tesla should have been arrested from day one. And that's how the law works. Notice David and Celeste cover up their faces, but people think David did not know her age. Sure. Look it, and David posted this photo himself to his Instagram, VIA close friends, just like Neo did with his statement. What's going on, Shy Turtle? How you doing today? Justice for Celeste. That's insane, man. And you guys know what else is insane that people are forgetting to mention? This guy, let's not forget, not only did Steve Fisher just announce that now he has proof, check this out, Shy Turtle, that D4VD had an ongoing and legal relationship with another minor at the exact same time this was ongoing with Celeste. This proof includes a statement from the minor and dozens of photos that include the minor and David, which I showed y'all a couple of them. They're saying he could have had dated up to 3 minors when he was with Celeste. I just showed a photo of one of them. But anyways, let's also think this guy also had allegedly a chainsaw that was still in the box at his house. Remember that? This guy had a burn incinerator that went up to 1400 degrees where bodies cremate at. Remember that? Something ain't right with this guy. And I think the grand jury is about to, let it all out in a couple days with the help of Neo. That's my opinion, allegedly. And they trying to keep it on the hush-hush. But the walls are closing in. The walls are closing in. Shout out to Reddit. Shout out to everybody that, was on this case. Justice for Celeste. I'm out of here till the next update. Peace out, everybody.